So you've claimed your Meteora airdrop, or you've seen the insane profit cards of people like Potato with their P&Ls, even in this choppy market, and you're wondering how do they find the coins for these positions. That's what I'm going to be covering, because the difference between having really amazing games and mediocre isn't always down to how skilled you are, but it's all to do with the coins which you select, where to look, and which tools to use. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the tools available to you so you can screen coins, decide which ones to enter depending on your personal preferences. I'm going to talk all the way from Discord servers all the way to tools such as Fabric and Toclio, and even manually screening yourself on a tool like Axiom. So first of all, we have the Discords, and of course we have the LP Army Discord, and you can join it straight from the Twitter, or I will have a link to this as well. And this is the best place to find a lot of those quicker plays if, first of all, you don't really know what you're doing, or you just want to learn from the best, because all of the best LPs are in there. Mythical Potato, Sats Monkey, Stroudwin, Costi, literally every single person, when you see the big P&Ls, very likely they will be in that Discord chatting. And I must admit, I am a lurker. You know, I look for calls and I chime in when I can, but a lot of the time I just don't really message. But the DGen DLMM channel for finding those new plays, those new coins which start trending. And when you can look at it right now, you can see all of the massive P&Ls everyone's posting. This is where you can find a lot of the good plays. And very often what happens is when people find a coin, they will make a thread, and you can see some of the threads right here. So a lot of the coins which have been running today. So I highly recommend checking this out if you haven't already. But other than the LP Army server, there's a lot of other Discords, such as, depending on your country, there's Meteora, there's Infinite, which is by Don't Run I'm Asian. Then there is Telegram. So we have my Telegram, where there's a lot fewer calls, and it's kind of just a chat that I check in on. But we have a lot of kind of high quality coins that not a lot of other people are LPing, but some of the people in the Telegram are absolutely cooking on them. Then we also have Crime XBT, or Chives Work. He has a nice community. We also have Beefman, who has a Telegram as well. Now, next up, we have those semi-automated tools. So what they're doing is they are pre-screening a lot of the tokens, looking at the volume, trying to find the best pools for you to DLMM, and then you can decide if you want to go into them. So most of these are listed on the LP Army community tools section if you scroll down. And first of all, we have Fabric. So they recently released their new beta of their kind of new dashboard, their new filters, and it's very powerful. Now, I'm not going to go into any specific filters, but even just on the general default, if you order by the 5-minute APR, you can see the top percentage pools. And these are a lot of the pools where, if you're not quite sure what you want to go in, or you just want some of the top tokens to potentially screen, do some other analysis on, see what the price action is like, you're going to get a lot of the top pools right here. So I was literally just used this, just entered the pump coin and just exited with some profit. But of course, you can use it for other things as well. And they do have these Meteor scores as well, which is their scoring mechanism, trying to rate how good of an opportunity it is. So on the website, they do have the settings where you can actually add more columns, you can rearrange them, or you can add filters for certain market caps or certain token ages, if that's something you're looking for. If you're not looking for the quick plays, but maybe you want something which you could stay in a bit longer. Similarly, we have Toclio, which again has, you're going to see a lot of similar tokens here, because these are just the top pools right now in the last 24 hours. But you can see them, you can see some of the important stats, such as that 24-hour fee to TVL, the market cap, the age. And really, when I'm using them, most of the time, to be honest, I'll just look at the defaults. I'll look in here, I'll look across to the Meteora Discord channel to, help cross-reference. But yeah, you can literally just see the profit I got on Metlex. But if we go over to the DEX tab, we have similar features in the DLMM, where we can see a lot of the top pools. And if you do find a particular token and you're not sure of the best pool, what you're able to do here is also head over to the DEX tab, paste the token in, and once it loads, you'll see all of the pools, whether they're Meteora or not, and you can see how much volume is going through those pools in the last kind of 5 minutes, for example, as obviously if you're going for a quick play, that kind of stuff like this is important, but you can also compare it to Radium, the pump swap, and to the other Meteora pools, looking at the base fee and the bin step. And there's also a bunch of others. Literally, I just came across this by Rochester on Twitter, who is part of the Meteora LP army, who released this tool, and he says it has this high capital efficiency feature. So it's actually looking at in-range kind of TVL to try and find the optimal one. Quite, interesting. A lot of these, actually had the liquidity removed, but again, you're going to see similar tokens across here. So you can kind of put together, some of these might be worth, doing further research into looking. Now, the next level is manually screening or trying to find tokens. And of course, you're going to want to cross-reference these with all the other sources we've covered. But you can go to a screener such as GMGN, Mobi Screener, or Axiom, which I'm on. I'm just used to it. I've been using it for a while. And depending on what filters you have, or maybe you have none at all, you can literally just go on here, have some filters maybe in the pulse, in your migrated section for certain market cap and volume, which is quite important. Or you might just want to look at trending, surge, deck screener, and your additional filters, and be able to find a lot of good tokens here as well. For me, a lot of these will show up kind of when they're at a lot lower market cap, like this pump coin showed up when it was kind of around that below 300k, to be honest. And that's been trending up, showing up on a lot of the screeners, which I've showed so far. So this can be quite an effective way. But for really new tokens, I'm more likely to use something like the Pulse tab, or I might use a tool like Rocket Scan as well. And finally, we have collecting some wallets and kind of seeing which tokens they entered and, putting in your radar a lot earlier. So what I mean by this is finding those trending pools, which, you might have seen the big P&Ls from, or you're wondering how some people found them and you just missed them. So maybe they are in the scanners, maybe they're not, but once you know the pool or the token, you copy the URL, you head over something like SoulScan, you paste it in, and once in here, you can filter by add liquidity and remove liquidity. And you can kind of go through some of these transactions or these wallets using a tool like LP Agent or Metlex. Then what you can do is literally copy some of these wallets. There is some ways to do it quicker, or you can just do it manually. And this is completely random. If you find some wallets, you scroll through, they look decent. What you could do is you can either manually try and track them, or you can use a free tool such as Cielo on their free tier, or there is a few other options. So I actually have a paid tier. But what you can do on here is once you found these wallets, add them, set up Telegram notifications, or you can even do this in a tool such as MetEngine, Soul Decoder. Literally just add the wallets in there and you'll be able to see in real time exactly which tokens those users are entering. And with all this information, you are bound to catch pretty much all of the good plays, understand what's going on, and not miss any tokens.